guess. Look here. Just show you. So, yeah. And this is another video. And guess what I'm talking about? Water clean power plants, garden dome holes. Don't be that way so judgmental all the time. Don't be such a judgmental. Judgmental. Judgy. Oh, you should judge the new river. You should hold a fundraiser to clean that up. Because I'm sure if you used to go test it, and then, one of the big issues in the issue is that, like people are going across that there. Tested river has been tested with, bacteria and hepatiticals and, like factory, dump offs, and then they put the raw sewage in there, and all that stuff just blowing right down into the salton sea. I know poo is a good fertilizer, but come on now, mix it with salt, what good is it? Not too much, other than it might grow bigger bacteria, which would cause a bigger plume. You never know, might even get a red tide in there and everybody just suffocate. Yeah. Oh, that would be just lovely, huh? Get a great big old red bloom out there from all the seeds being, from all the turds floating around, in that raw, open, wide, basic, like evaporation tank. That's basically what it is, a big old evaporation, big old evaporation tank. That's why I suggest we put, condensators. Got the background sound going, but we got condensators, atmosphere, condensators that condensate the atmosphere. Now when I was studying, I found out that copper has attractive properties. Check this out. And if you put it in a coil, then it has a bigger attractive properties. And that just attracts water atmosphere, water molecules, and then it brings the coil, it creates this invisible vortex inside this copper coil that has fluid that goes up the center. It's a reflux fluid that's cold, so it don't freeze, but it gets really cold, so we have water goes straight up and then it coils back down this big coil, or this big copper coil, and this vortex down the middle, you blow air down straight down, and what happens is it causes the atmosphere to condense into water, and then it just drips down into a nice little pool. Yes, I know you've had them out for years and years and years, and I've only had to explain it a couple of times, years and years and years ago, 10 hello spirits. So, I just seed it out here and seed it out and reseed it again, and pretty soon a whole bunch of spickle becomes speckle, and it's just everywhere and everything, in everybody's mind. And I'm putting in your mind right now that the salton sea has the potential of multi-trillions. Yeah, multi-trillions. You know, just following my guidelines and plans, you'd be able to set up a whole city here, and we would call it heaven on earth. And you want to talk about sanctuary? How about we employ our children, employ our student body, you know, and we change over to inner city air powered transportation, you know, and then everything that's fossilized we leave outside the city, called heaven on earth, you know, because we want to keep it a smog-free city, or pollution-free. That means we'll have corkscrew pipes. You shut up. Corkscrew pipes, you know, that you just go and throw your garbage into your little can that sits out at the drive, and it just pushes the garbage this way, and it pushes the garbage towards the center where the refineries, you know, well, the center back of the city where refineries run, you know, because we have two refineries that create one fundamental thing, you know, methane that can burn, you know, as long as we can digest the trash in the poo through incineration and, you know, creosote condensation, you know, then we can mix the two creosotes, well, we mix the sludge with the creosote, and the sludge with the creosote will break down and turn into a reusable fuel. Now once we do that, we can route it up and use it in our incineration our smoldering incinerators. Smoldering incinerators smolder its contents into a white ash. It does no direct fire to it. It's just a really hot smoldering smoke. So that way we can collect as much oil out of it as we can possibly collect. And what I mean by oil is I mean the creosote deposits from smoldering smoke. Now it goes through a vortex of water into a tank of water that's really cold, and that allows the smoke to be condensed into its creosote oils, which will float to the top, and then it'll drain off into a bigger tank that together when they start, well, that there gets turned into methane fuel, propane, if you would say, if you would like, natural gas, you know. So the creosote and the sludge activate each other and create methane. Now, what happens after that is the methane gets pumped back up and it runs the incinerators that we're using, and then the excess gets, you know, condensed, you know, in like propane bottles. Yeah. And then sold off to the rest of the world as a heating fuel, you know. So there's a dividend that would come for, you know, that dividend would be going into employment in the student body. So those people wanting to learn can earn money, you know, in the city called heaven on earth. Now, because we're going to build robots and let all them do the work for us. And all we have to do is learn and earn our way into space. You see, and we learn it under a directive of the AI payout, you know, and banking system. And I'm sure you guys got a good program out there I'm sure somebody would be interested in working with me to set up such a beautiful academy, into the space, and so we can join the race into space. But not only that, we can imply many hemp, fields in such a way that we want the fibers, the stalks and stems and leaves and everything, so we can dry them out really dry and then pulverate them into a powder, so we can mix into a stone mortar to make a lightweight stone. And then we can, put a pot fire preventive and all that good stuff. Oh, I'll be right back, because my is going to go to sleep. Yeah. So that was another reason why I chose this saltancy, because it was summertime most of the time, and that means there's lots of drying surface and drying pulverized stems. That's a whole factory in itself. And see, that way we can on site mix the special mixes together, in a secret formula that's going on, because that's part of the details too, and then we mix those together and make this lightweight stone, and then we'll make that lightweight stone fireproof, and we'll put ribs in there so it's stormproof, and it'll be nice and smooth on the outside so it's tornado proof. And you see, the greatest thing about this is we can set up a factory, right? We set up a factory to create employment, because that's the whole idea, is to create employment. And by creating employment, one of the best ways to do that is to create housing at a low cost. And if we can legalize hemp everywhere, then that gives the a broader area of economy growth, because now even the poorest person can just start growing fibers. That's what I would hope. They would grow fibers and bring their bundles in, or send their bundles in, or ship their bundles in, and then we can make it into stone mortar, just for the garden dome homes. Say garden dome homes, because then we can, now that we're down there and we're cleaning the salt and sea out, and there's all that sodium in the water, well, don't they use sodium in glass, right? So you can put that sodium and make bulletproof glass, or nice thick glass, and we can clean up those beaches down there with all the glass in it, so it'll be like, pretty soon, next thing you know, heaven on earth is giving you 10 cents a glass bottle, Now wouldn't that be nice? Have 10 cents for every glass bottle, just so we can break it up and put it together in pretty pictures for, garden dome luxury windows. Yeah, that's right. Nice luxury windows. Just insert them nice thick luxury, and then they're recycled glass particles and resins, it makes a nice, so that way it's nice and hard in case you don't get your covers down in time for the ice to go bashing into the glass. It'll just bounce off, So have that in mind too. I take all these good ideas and put them together, and then, join community and unity, and, place the idea in the center of the people and let the people think about the whole idea, and then take my details and take their details and make it the best as possibly could make it. And then everybody gets a little share somewhere, you know. I know I'm doing this because I need to make right, you know. And so I'll keep moving towards this project until I'm able to make right. And if I produce you lots of energy, and I produce you lots of clean water, and lots of new garden areas, and lots of new, you know, I would hope I would get something out of the deal. Because, you know, putting 2 new canals in going southerly opens that whole area up for garden lands, and, you know, so all this new farmlands open up everywhere, because of a couple pipelines and a couple canals going out, you know, and then rerouting the new river into one of the outgoing, so that way the new river is still in the gardenable area, because, you know, even if it is all the sand, will keep most of that in the river, and you can just dump it out, you know, back into the Gulf. But you can still use the length of it, because even, you know, the body of water will work its way through the sand, but most of the particles and ill-gotten stuff will be stuck in the sand too, you know. It'll kind of clean itself, you know. Just putting thinking into it made me tired. I was thinking too much. And I think so much I forget what I'm thinking about sometimes. I know there's several ways of producing energy that's pretty easy. Putting 2 pipelines in, you know, and the one pipeline is set up on tide bands, you know, so it has a timing like a car, and pistons, timing the pistons. You gotta get the pistons in the right timing to pump all the water up the hill. 66 inches, pretty big pipe. But, you know, you can pump that much up over the mountain with one-way lines, so that way if it ever stops, it would stop the water from going backwards, you know. And then you can just keep going with the water going forwards. But if you set it up and you come down and back over, you know, then your end line, the end of it, is longer than the beginning of it, which creates a siphon in itself. So all you have to do is turn the knob on, you know, and it would pump as much water. I mean, if it is over pumped, you know, then you have down here is over pump valve that just lets that little extra out so it doesn't burst no lines, or, you know, stuff like that. And, yeah. Let's see. Oh yeah, inline turbines, that's already said. Or talked about inline turbines. Talked about the canals. Talked about the pipelines. You know, I talked about filling up the bank like a footprint, and taking bulldozers and pushing up the bank sides. So that way you make a great big giant footprint. You know. And then on the north side, or, you know, that way the Salton City can still be the Salton City in it, you know. But there's a nice big open spot in the desert that would make an awesome, you know, water cleaning power plant. Yeah. There's a few different ways of doing it, and I would like to maximize all of them just to see which one works even better. But I think the best one so far as I come up with were tubes. Evaporation chambers. At first I had a pyramid and it was okay. Oh, we're running out of time already. So, I guess we'll have to wait until the next video. Since 2011, I've been studying and working on it and changing it and making it this way and making it that way. Changing it again and making it better and pretty soon I'll come up with a full sure-proof complete plan. All you gotta do is have the heart to hear me out and the ears, and to have the power to push it forward, because it will work. And by reviving the Salton Sea, you revive the whole area, and that helps make America great again, especially with a little piece of heaven on earth as a model idea for the rest of the world.